It's a little bit funny that I wrote this book because I have a really bad memory. So a lot of writing about things that are a little bit fuzzy. And I really started writing the book when my mom was sick, when I was on leave from my job so many years ago, with my mom, because I wanted her to write her story. And in fact, I told her, Mom, everybody has a story, you should write your story. And she said, yeah. But she wrote it down, and I found it in her wallet after she died. So she really did take that to heart, even if she didn't get a chance to do that. I'm going to read 3 short sections from the book, and then I'll take questions from any of you who have questions. Okay, so just to set the scene, we're on a pontoon boat, an orange pontoon boat, on the Tennessee River Valley with 3 kids. We're going upriver, and this was supposed to be a great adventure vacation. My dad had lost his wallet at the beginning of the trip. The next day, things took a turn for the worst. Dad, why is the boat tilting to the side? Well, Nicole, I think there's a leak in one of the pontoons, said Dad. His calm response meant that he had already noticed the problem and deemed it unworthy of mentioning to me. The fact that the pontoons were steel instead of aluminum seems more important now. A leak? Yes. We're sinking! I screamed. Sinking sat in that spot in my brain where the most terrifying things that could happen to a person resided. Yes, technically we are sinking, but very slowly, said Dad. What are we going to do? Nothing, it's not that bad. Linda seemed resigned to Dad's assessment. Keep going, press on. I was less convinced, but stuck on the boat nonetheless. It hadn't rained much that summer, making the river low in some places. Dad had taught John and me how to drive the boat, making sure we looked at the map to stay away from the shoals. Dad, it's a little shallow here, said John. Dad was in the back of the boat working on something else, not listening to John. We jolted a bit as the boat slid firmly onto a shoal. The other times we'd run aground, Dad had jumped in and pushed us off. Jesus Christ, John! I'll push us off. Jack, no, you can't do that, Linda said. Why not? Can't you see the signs? We turned our heads. The signs along the bank of the river stated, no fishing, swimming, or recreating. Contaminated water, above icons of swimmers and fishermen, X'd out. As we sat there on the shoal, hours went by. The sun moved from one side of the river to the other. There were no trees nearby, and the mosquito spray no longer worked. And we were running out of drinking water. Dad stood up. Jack, you can't get in the water. I have to. It shouldn't be that difficult. There was no other way. He jumped in and struggled to move the boat. Linda shouted, keep your balls up, honey. Once she laughed, everyone laughed. Okay, so I should have mentioned at the beginning that was around 1983. So now we're in 1996, and my dad has been very ill and has indeed almost died of a staph infection that went to his heart valve. And we're kind of in the upswing from that event, I guess, upswing. He hadn't died. He wasn't a vegetable, but he was like an infant who could talk. We knew. But the reality of what was happening didn't clobber us over the head in the same way his initial illness had. His improvements were gradual, as was our understanding that he wasn't the same person. The process gained momentum steadily as a different drug, bandage, or medical device was removed. But he was still on a fair amount of pain medicine. He watched the Weather Channel constantly in his hospital room. Montana, move the fan, please. It's going to melt, said Dad from his hospital bed. What are you talking about, Dad? Asked 10-year-old, but almost 6 feet tall, Montana. Montana, the fan. Move it away from the window. But it can bring in the cool air. Aren't you hot? Montana, the fan's made out of chocolate. You can see that. If it stays in the sun, it will melt. We looked at the fan and then at Dad. Everything and nothing had changed.
I want to hear more.
Buy the book.